fans, and welcome to the January edition of Forza Monthly. Can you believe it is 2021 already? I know I certainly can't.
We have another massively requested car, one that I think probably more than any other has been hounding us in all of our Twitter mentions for the last number of months, and that is the 2020 Corvette C8.
It's got like quite an exotic look. It feels like an exotic supercar, but it's a Chevy Corvette, and it's like a muscle car, sports car kind of hybrid that just looks and drives really well.
So it has that performance of an Italian supercar, but it has the really aggressive looks and styling of an American muscle car. It's super exciting. Can't wait to get my hands on it in the game.
Picks up on the aggressive bit by the sounds of it pretty quickly. Not gonna lie on that.
We've also got the 1990 Camaro IROC Z. So this is another really cool muscle car, a bit older, but very iconic.
Yeah, and this was the last car to have the IROC IROC badge and IROC trim level. So it really was the kind of the end of an era for a really cool range of Camaro cars. Next up, we have one more new car in this update, and it is the adorable the Honda S800. It has 70 brake horsepower. That's 70. So that's 1/7 as powerful as the Corvette C8. But it makes up for that by being really adorable.
This is going to be signs and scenes of yesteryear, where the Corvette teammates have battled fiercely here at Mid-Ohio. We'll see who wins this one today.
You are coming off a highly impressive 2020 season, driving for Corvette Racing in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. How did it feel to actually win your second championship?
Last year was amazing. I think coming out with Corvette Racing with the brand new car, the C8R mid-engine, it had a lot of hype and build up going into it. I mean, everyone knew the Corvettes for the front engine, ground rumbling V8s, and this car was so different. For me, I drove the race versions of the previous generations, the C6 and C7, and they just require such a unique driving style with the front engine and the weight distribution all the way at the front. You had to be very careful, very precise with all your inputs and your driving style. And now with the C8, it feels like a proper race car, designed for racing, designed for performance.
You had a chance to sit down with McLaren F1 driver Lando Norris, and I could tell by your face that you were very excited to play some Forza Horizon 4 for episode 3 of the Forza X McLaren series. Now tell me all about that.
We asked community members to set up challenges for us that we go through on the trip. And in the end, it was just so much fun doing, just this kind of nutty stuff around the map on Forza Horizon with them.
Oh, I'm going miles quicker.
220.
250.
Come on, McLaren.
Yeah, December in Esports. Yeah, always a bit of a sort of chill month. And one of the organizers who I was really keen on shouting out today is Delta Online Racing. Every single year, without fail, they wrap up their championships so nicely with some really lovely community events.
Oh! Wow, Bobby saved that, but he's going to lose out on the place to Angeloni.
Quite close.
Oh, full send!
He sent him inside like he'd done in race.
Oh, he's done him!
What a send from Skyrocker again.
Welcome to the show,
Hi.
Psycho Blonde Gal. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing great, thank you. I'm reading the chat right now and people are going insane. People have been waiting so long for this. It's crazy.
So what is it you love about shooting photos in Forza and keeps making you come back?
It's the fact of finding something different each time. Depending on what car it is, you can get different details or you can do scenery.
I imagine you're more familiar with some of the really intricate areas of like the towns.
Yeah, it's always like the tiny little places us photographers find. And it's amazing because some people take photos in Forza and it's like, where on earth is that place? And it can just be a road that you drive down every day.
Amazing. Can you tell us much about this one that we have up at the moment, actually? Because I love that shot with the train in the background.
This is a photo that I actually did a very long time ago, but I wanted to go back to it and we're going to see what I can work with. And I got a lot more better angles and I just love how they turn out because they look so natural.
Hello, Forza fans. Welcome to the February edition of Forza Monthly. I hope you're having a lovely start to the new year. I am Leviathan, and I'm happy to be back with you once again. We have a full show ahead of us, starting off with a very exciting announcement. For the first time ever, the Forza franchise is headed to Steam with the award-winning Forza Horizon 4. Playground Games are here with all the details. Then we're going to be breaking down the Series 32 update with a look at 2 new reward cars and the 6 new cars debuting in the Hot Wheels Legends car pack. After that, we're joined by the Hot Wheels VP of Global Franchise Marketing, Ricardo, to talk about the Hot Wheels Legends Tour and what it means to bring these iconic toys to life in Forza. And as always, Ali Tech has this month's esports update, and then we round out the show with the creator and admin of the Forza Horizon 4 UK Community Group, Ash Gibbs, who is this month's featured guest in the Community Spotlight. So let's get to it. First up, we've got the Forza Horizon 4 on Steam update, and we've got Tom Butcher here to talk all about it. Hello, Tom. Welcome back. Oh.
Perfect start. Thanks, Leah. It's great to be back.
Thank you very much for coming on. Let's just before we talk about Steam update, because it's extremely exciting, but let's just quickly touch on Series 32 for anybody who might have missed the Forza Horizon 4 update stream just before this one. It sounds like there's some quick news to share.
Yeah, so we've got lots of great stuff coming to Horizon 4, but before we get into that, I wanted to let everyone know that we do have a technical issue which may delay our Series 32 update. We're working hard to address it and before Thursday, but if we don't, the series will fall back to a backup festival playlist. We'll, of course, keep you all up to date on progress and let you know when we have an update.
Great. Thank you very much, Tom. Chris Phillips will be joining a little bit later to talk about the series in detail. And you're here to talk about another cool announcement for Forza Horizon 4. So check this out. Hey, amazing! It's finally coming to Steam. Like, tell me why.
Yeah, we're super excited that for the first time, Forza franchise is going to be coming to Steam with Forza Horizon 4. We're always looking for new ways to bring our games to where people play them, and Steam is one of those places on PC. So, yeah, we can't wait to welcome Steam players to join the millions of Forza Horizon 4 players already driving when we launch.
Absolutely. Big important question. Does Forza Horizon 4 on Steam support crossplay?
It does, yeah. So crossplay works to make sure that wherever you're playing Forza Horizon 4, be it Xbox devices, cloud gaming, Windows 10, and soon Steam, you're all going to be able to play together really simply.
Excellent. So let's say I already play Forza Horizon 4 on another platform. Will my game progress carry over to Steam if I buy the Steam version now?
So your save file on Steam is completely unique and separate from any pre-existing save file that's associated with your gamer tags due to technical limitations. However, there are a few exceptions. So leaderboards are 1 per gamer tag. So whichever profile you're better at, that one's going to win out on the leaderboards. And clubs are 1 per gamer tag. So you can join, if you're joined to club on Xbox, when you play on Steam, you'll be in that club as well.
Great. And I know we just saw it on the graphic, but can we reiterate again, when will it be available on Steam?
Yeah, so it's available March 9th. We'll have more to share in the future, but you can wishlist Forza Horizon 4 on Steam starting today, and that will notify you when pricing's available and when the game's available to purchase. And I just want to give a quick shout out to our development partners at Sumo Nottingham who helped make this happen. But yeah, super excited.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Exciting times to be a Forza fan. Thank you.
Thanks, Leah.
Next up, we've got Chris Phillips joining us to talk about the Series 32 update. But first, here's a peek at one of the newest reward cars. Hello, Chris. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hey, it's good to be here.
Absolutely. It's been a bit of a while since you've been on the show. I imagine you've been sort of heads down in all the wealth of cars that have been available to the game in recent months.
Yeah, there's a lot of cars keeping me busy.
Yeah, there's a lot. And not to overwhelm you too much, but we do have a bunch more cars coming now in Series 32. So let's tell us all about the star of the show today, the 2020 Ford Mustang GT500.
Yeah, so this is the kind of pinnacle to the Mustang at the moment. It's several years ago we got the GT350, which was the track-focused version of the current generation Mustang. This has taken that concept even further. So it's got aerodynamic tweaks, suspension tweaks, still carrying on things like the carbon fiber wheels that were a first for the GT350. There's a wheel option on this, which is carbon fiber. And then the big thing is the GT350 was a 500 horsepower normally aspirated V8. This one's now got a supercharger. It's making 760 horsepower, which is an absolutely huge number for a production vehicle. And it actually is tamed really well on the chassis. Ford have done a lot of work, both aerodynamically and with the chassis, to make this a really good handling track car. I've seen it's been setting a few track records and things like that across America. It's
amazing.
Yeah, it's an incredible car, and it sounds incredible as well.
Yeah, and of course, not just on the track, you take it through the trees and the hedges as well.
I'll take it everywhere in Horizon.
How do we get it, though?
Yep, so it's available in summer, so the first season of the month, for the series even, in the Flex Your Muscle event.
Lovely. So, alongside that, are there any additional reward cars to look at?
Yep, we have another Mustang. So this is the Shelby 1000. There it is. Really a poor season choice for this car. So it's in the name. This thing's running. It's got nearly 1,000 horsepower. So this was based on the kind of 2012 generation of Mustang, and it's obviously done by Shelby. In fact, I think this was the last car that Carroll Shelby got to sign off on. It's an amazing car. I mean, 1,000 horsepower nowadays is still a huge number. Back in 2012, it was an absolutely ridiculous car when it came out. Huge performance stats. The car itself, massively reworked chassis to make it work, huge brakes, all that kind of stuff. And the last time it was seen in Forza, I think, was Forza Horizon 1. So, yeah, it's a nice car to return to the franchise.
Absolutely. That's only 8 years ago as well. It's not really that long ago, yet you say it's, compared to these days, it's a little bit outdated. Wild.
Yeah, it feels just like yesterday.
Yeah, no, time is scarily flying. So how do we get this one then, the Shelby 1000?
So this one is in one of our better named events. This is in spring, and this is in Shelby Coming Round the Mountain, which is credit to our game designers. That's a good pun.
I love it and I hate it in equal amounts. Thank you for that blessing. Amazing. So yeah, you can grab one of those for yourself. And those aren't the only cars coming to the game in Series 32, however, because earlier today, the Hot Wheels Legends car pack was announced, which includes 6 brand new cars. Let's run through all of them. Tell me everything.
So the Hot Wheels Legends pack contains cars from Hot Wheels Legends Tour, which is a tour where people bring their cars along to that they've built themselves to have them judged. And the result of this entire competition is you can have your car made into a Hot Wheels toy. So one of the cars in the pack is the 2Jet Z, which we'll see in a minute, and it was made into the actual car, which I conveniently have sitting around in my office. All of the cars are, so this is the, oh, it's just gone. We're now in the Nash Metropolitan. They're all very much a form over function type cars. They all really embody what it is to look like a toy in car form.
Yeah, I don't think that bit at the front really helps the aerodynamic aspect.
Or seeing out of it.
No.
But the 2 dice on top of it are fantastic. This is another one, the Harvester, International Harvester. Originally a truck, very utilitarian. Now it's got an engine where the bed would have been, and a really cool big wing just to balance it visually. Yeah, absolutely amazing selection of cars. All of them are, I believe, round winners of the Hot Wheels, the Legends Tour, and 2 of them are here it is. So this one in 2018, I think it was, and has now gone on to be made into a toy. A very quick fact on this one: on the exhaust, the little thing that is kind of looks like an afterburner is actually a vegetable steamer that's put on there. And of course, it's got this amazing interior that. Yeah, really gives Horizon a new look. Very reminiscent of a jet fighter.
I was going to say, cool. Yeah, it's futuristic yet somehow retro at the same time. Love it, retro futuristic.
Yeah. And yeah, this one here is probably the most traditional hot rod in the pack. Although it's still not that traditional. It's got a giant Ford diesel engine in the front of it. Yeah, so a very, very cool selection of cars.
Absolutely. So how do we get this car pack then?
So it'll be available to purchase soon, and it'll be available to everyone, no matter what platform you're playing on, or version of the game.
And I just want to reiterate that these are cars people have made, and that have been made into toys, and have then been made into a game car that you can play. That's like the process is wild, which we'll go into more in a minute. Chris, thank you so much for joining us today and going through the update with us. Take care.
Thank you for having me. Good to see you.
So, as I mentioned, we've got more on Hot Wheels and the Legends Tour coming up. So, stick around. But before we do, watch this trailer. Hello, Ricardo. Welcome to Forza Monthly. How are you doing today?
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for having me today.
Absolutely. It looks like you're up in the mountains. I'm kind of jealous. Tell us a little bit about what it is you do for Hot Wheels.
Yes, well, so I head up franchise marketing at Mattel. So what I do is I get the pleasure of taking all of the various toy properties that Mattel has and figure out how do we create business opportunities and how we extend them to fans that are, beyond the kids buying toys and everything that we do. So we do a lot of that on Hot Wheels, most specifically video games, and I've been very closely involved with all the wonderful things that we've been doing with Forza for the last few years.
It's like extending that love of Hot Wheels as a child and just bringing it into other aspects of your adult life. I love it. So when did you want to get into Hot Wheels, and what sort of made you want to work for Hot Wheels specifically?
Well, so, I think that like most typical kids, I started being a fan of Hot Wheels when I was, I don't even remember, maybe 2, 3, and was a giant fan, and of course had a ton of Hot Wheels, and then, got a little bit older, stopped playing with the toys. But then, after I started working, I didn't even dream that I would be working on Hot Wheels, and landed at Mattel, and I had the wonderful opportunity to be involved in Hot Wheels, and I've been doing that for like the past 10 years. So it's been a wild ride, and it's been the dream job that I never even dreamed of.
Didn't even know could exist. It's amazing. And obviously it feels like Forza and Hot Wheels, it just feels like a natural sort of combination, really. And fans of the Forza franchise will know that Forza has quite a long history with Hot Wheels at this point. So why are the two such a natural fit, in your opinion?
Well, I think for a couple of reasons. Actually, I would say 3 reasons. First of all, nobody does toy cars better than Hot Wheels. Nobody does racing games better than Forza. So, we're very much about quality and the most amazing product. But I think that the most important thing is that anyone who's into cars, anyone who's into automotive, is very much a fan of Forza. But they also started as Hot Wheels fans because pretty much everyone's first car is a Hot Wheels, So anyone who's into cars has a little bit space in their heart for Hot Wheels, and I think that Hot Wheels reminds us all of not just like the hardcore and the cool thing of driving, but also that the driving and cars can be fun and playful. So I think that is kind of the perfect intersection. It comes to life on the Forza games so incredibly well. So, that's why I think it always works really well. And then the team at Forza have been doing such an unbelievable job with the games, but also with translating Hot Wheels into the games.
I mean, yeah, speaking of that, like usually we talk to sort of car manufacturers or drivers about what their cars feel like in real life and how that compares to sort of Forza, how that gets translated over. But with Hot Wheels, it's a little bit different. What's it like to see those cars sort of like brought to life in Forza?
Well, it's amazing. And, I think that for starters, like all of the cars that have the Hot Wheels cars that have been made into the Forza games, first of all, they exist in real life. So you can actually drive them. I've been working on Hot Wheels for like 10 years, like I said, and I still have not had a chance to drive them myself, but I've been driving them on the Forza games. But so you have the real cars that you could drive. But I think that what makes it even more magical is that all of us, even as kids, we see the Hot Wheels cars going on track and it's a ton of action, but we also picture what it would be like to drive those cars. And it's not until you get to Forza that you can, play up those fantasies and see in almost in real life what driving those crazy Hot Wheels cars is actually like. And, something that it's very playful, very, very fun, and has a bit of a different element to driving into Forza.
Absolutely. And I imagine it's quite interesting having like such a whimsical car at top speed and like imagining what that might feel like. So we sort of touched upon it earlier when we were talking through the car pack itself, but what is the Legends Tour?
So the Legends Tour is the global search for the next Hot Wheels diecast car. So what we do is we invite the fans to a series of car shows that we hold actually around the world, and they bring out their custom builds, the labor of their love, and they compete in a series of events we're going to make them into the next Hot Wheels toy car.
Amazing. So, I mean, that's so cool. You give people the opportunity to have their creation brought even to an even wider audience.
Right.
How did you help determine that these particular cars were a good fit to come to Forza Horizon 4? And how do they tie into the Legends tours?
So they've all been in the car pack. They've all been participants and finalists of the Hot Wheels Legends Tour. We actually have the two winners from 2018 and 2019 have made into the car pack. So the 2 Jet Z and the Nash Metropolitan. So those are there. But also, this partnership with Forza has given us the opportunity to feature some of these amazing builds that have been finalists in the tour that could be Hot Wheels in their own merit, but every year we can only pick one. So now we have the chance to honor these car builders, but also give the chance to fans to drive these crazy cars. In fact, I would say that some of the ones that are in the car are definitely among my favorites. I think it's a really fun opportunity for them and for us. And what an honor to get your car not only turned into a Hot Wheels, but also be driven in a video game.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so much creativity. How do you decide what cars become Hot Wheels toys? Is there certain criteria you look for?
Yeah. We actually have it's a tough process because we have seen so many cool cars. And fortunately, I am not one of the decision makers. So, I have it easy. We assembled together a team at every stop of car personalities and people from the automotive world, because this needs to be authentic and legitimate. And of course, they're joined by the people on the Hot Wheels design team. They're car experts in their own merit too, and Hot Wheels experts. But ultimately, we're looking for 3 criteria. The first one is creativity. It is really important that a car that's going to be turned into a Hot Wheels is something that nobody's ever seen before, something that you say, holy crap, where did that come from? But the second one is also authenticity, and it's that idea that it needs to look like a Hot Wheels. When you see that car drive by, you're like, that's a Hot Wheels in real life. And then the final criteria is garage spirit. And it's kind of that idea of it's the builder's dream, the builder's creation, that they set their minds to creating and find the resources to build that car, because that connects very much to what Hot Wheels is all about. And Hot Wheels is about challenger spirit, that idea of never giving up and trying to pursue your dreams, and be it going through a loop or building a giant car, like a cool build. And, that's 100% part of it. And, when those three combine with our judges, that's how we identify what is the next car that we're going to turn into a Hot Wheels.
Amazing. And I think you did just touch on it now, but how do you give each of these cars like a distinct personality?
Well, so I think that's interesting too, because these cars are so outrageous and so unique that that I think that just by looking at them, you can kind of see that they have a personality, much like every car. But I think that part of it too, to what we have found that is incredibly important, is that each car has a builder, and in each car is an integral part of that builder story. So with a car comes, the most amazing stories of, never giving up, or there's family builds, or dreams from your childhood. And, it's so incredible every time that we meet all of these participants in our car shows and they tell us the story behind the car. It's incredibly interesting, but we also feel incredibly humbled and fortunate that these people are giving us their creations, and they really want them to be part of the Hot Wheels, of the Hot Wheels infrastructure and the Hot Wheels world. So, it's incredibly fulfilling and something that we want to continue to celebrate.
Yeah, because it can't help but be personal, really. Everybody's got their struggles to go through, like even things like materials. Some people just don't have access to certain materials. They have to get real creative with designing something, knowing that they can't use specific materials that maybe they should be.
Right.
Really cool.
What's really interesting is that it is all fueled by passion, and I can tell you that it's never about the car where the owner has put the most amount of money. It's always about the car where the owner has put the most amount of passion and care and attention to detail. And that's what ends up culminating in a build that's not only incredible, but incredible as a Hot Wheels.
Yes, and packed with personality. Right, the hardest question now. What is your favorite Hot Wheel?
That is a really hard question, because I need to love all my children. But I will say that I've collected in multiple ways. I think that now I've collected in two most important ways. One is, I always gravitate towards the Hot Wheels Bone Shaker, and I have several versions of them. But I also find it really interesting to collect what we call the raw Zamak cars, which are the cars in the raw metal. So you see they don't have like a base paint, and then it has the graphics applied to the raw metal. I think those look really cool. So that's the other type of cars or category of cars that I collect.
So rather than a favorite Hot Wheel car, you kind of just have a favorite collection. I suppose when you've been doing it as long as you have, that's very fair. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Ricardo. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me, and it's been really fun.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
You too.
Up next, as always, we have the wonderful Ali Tak with the Esports update right after this. every single time I see them, I can't help but feel like some of them have to be real. There's no way they're from the game. It's wild. Hello, Ali. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm really good. Yeah, I was enjoying the photos today as well. I was just sitting there head bopping away to the music and and enjoying those photos.
Always.
It was cool listening
They've got like a nice summery autumn theme, haven't they, through them, which is making me feel kind of sad.
I was there for that. I was fully engaged with that, with those muted tones. I liked it a lot. Yeah. I liked listening to you chat to Ricardo as well. The Hot Wheels cars are so cool, and I've seen a couple of them at car shows over the years, and one of the things you don't get from the toys is like, they're real machines. Like when they start them up, you hear them right here, in your diaphragm when they get going. And
it's something everyone can relate to, because everybody's had a Hot Wheels car at some point. Like everybody. I think I had a huge tub of them when I was a kid. And my only regret is that Forza Horizon doesn't have loop-de-loops, so I can recreate my experience.
Correct. That's right. That's what's badly needed.
Right, let's talk about esports, otherwise they'll kick us off. This month saw the first major endurance race of the community season, the Tour of Daytona 24 Hour. We've got a clip of the action, so let's have a look, and then I'll let you chat about it.
Ferrari slightly outbrakes himself. He's done him. He's got the move. He has got the move. Oh, no way.
Side by side through the fast left-hander. Wadden's going to have to back out of this, surely. Corvette's got the place already. The Viper can seize the place. Tries to go around the outside. We've got one of the Yeet machines getting involved in this as well. The Viper goes back down the inside and retakes the place. This is the fight for second in GTs at the moment. These guys have been nose to tail and been fighting for the entirety of the race.
Like I say, in the previous stint, I had a little bit of difficulty getting the car settled. So maybe they've changed a couple of things to get it dialed in.
It's what these races are all about. It's trying to drive smart, not necessarily driving fast. As one of the protos, that's the DDM machine off in the background. It's the leader in GTs is off as well.
GTs is off
so that looks like the two DDM machines have come together.
So
these guys are still fighting with about 15 minutes left to run. Just has to pull back in. Decides not to go side by side through the left-hander. Is he going to fancy it down the inside of this hairpin? The Corvette goes a little bit defensive, gets it turned in early. The BM's going to try and go for the cutback move here. Oh, the BM's throwing it off the road. He's bottled it.
I love the sassy humor of whoever it is that does the lower thirds for that, with the Jaguar actually overtakes something.
Brutal, right? It's WA10 Tom who put the highlights together, so a big shout out to him. Also, the rest of the commentating crew that we heard there, Track Sabian, HKF Racing, It's Creamed, Sketch as well, and WA10 Tom again commentating there. They were commentating C Lobby, which is like the third fastest lobby for the race, because there are so many teams and drivers who were taking part. There were 72 different teams involved, each team having like 3 to 5 drivers in them. And so they had to split them up between lobbies. So they have like an A lobby with the very fastest drivers, B lobby with the slightly slower drivers, and then C lobby with the third fastest. And all of them race over 24 hours across 12 different stints at Daytona. It's nuts. It's awesome. It's so cool that the community do it. Like every year, not just for Daytona, for Le Mans as well. We'll have Sebring eventually. Lots and lots of cool events. This one, just quickly, was won by the Spoons team in P class in their Peugeot 908. That's Mitch, South, Craviator, Bokit, and RR Roadrunner. And then also in GT, the winners were, in GT, the winners were ESB Motorsport. As always, Hydra, he always gets a mention somehow in the esports section. That's Scottson as well with Bullet, Breeze, and Delete as well, taking the win there. So 2 amazing teams coming together over 24 hours and putting in the fastest race times.
It's quite the undertaking as well to organise that many people and that many areas in a pandemic for a 24-hour race. Absolutely. Well done.
All remotely. Yeah, you should see the forums are like these incredible structures to the organization. It's incredible what they do. You should check it out. It's I haven't said it yet. The Online Racing Association. That's a place to check it out. Racetour.com.
Amazing. And I assume that's how I could get involved in it if I wanted to, absolutely ruin everyone's day.
Yeah, well, yeah, you come in and want to collect you. I mean, they'll probably just send you the trophy, Leah. To be honest, if you say you're gonna, they'll just mail it to you. You can go over to racetour.com and check it all out. I will say that the big endurance races that they have maybe don't happen every single day of the week. There's probably about 5 a year because they take a lot of organizing and a lot of volunteer work. If you come back, I don't know, in a month, I don't think they've announced one yet, so I don't know if I've got a date to tell you, but I think in about a month you'll be able to see the next one, usually.
Excellent. Amazing. Well, so last time we spoke, all the way in December, which feels like a lifetime ago now, you were kicking off the Game Pass Cup. Where are we with that?
Okay, yeah. So we have been through round number 1, where Joseph Newgarden was the bounty. Round number 2 was me as the bounty, and round number 3 saw Shannon McIntosh be the bounty there. We're now in round number 4. The car is the Audi TT TCR, so the touring car, and then the track is the Dubai Mountain Circuit. Which is a interesting track and one that I'd never hot lapped before. It's live right now on Forza Motorsport. Go to Rivals, go to Featured Rivals, and you'll see the event right there. You can set your time amongst the many, to say it 3 times, other people who've put their times in there as well. I love these events where you attract like all these extra people to come out racing, because you can really see where you sit in like the wider Forza racing community. You get to like have that feeling of, okay, I know I'm good, but how good actually am I? And this is definitely a good way to find out.
Yeah, maybe get humbled or boost your ego a little bit. Who knows?
Really humbled for me.
And I heard you've developed quite the rivalry with Eternatum.
Speaking of humbled,
to explain.
Yeah, that's right. I was obsessed with being the fastest streamer on this channel, and I was like, I do a stream each week. I wanted to be the quickest. Eternatum, though, it turns out, is just really, really quick. It's not so much been a rivalry as it's been me kind of chasing behind him, going like, wait, give me a chance. I won 1, and he's won 2 so far. So if I can get even on this last one, then it's 2-all, and then we have to settle it in a 1v1, presumably a pie eating
Pistols
contest.
at dawn kind of thing, yeah.
Pistols at dawn, okay. I was hoping for pies, honestly, Leah, but pistols if it has to be.
Right, well, anyway, what's happening next month in the esports calendar? Let's have a look.
Yeah, we can check it out. Here we go with starting off with the Ferrari 360 challenge. That's over at the Reddit, FM4 Reddit. They've been going for so long and have some awesome streams as well that you can check out. It's always a really good event there, very well run. And the Ferrari 360, it's a great car. The Game Pass Cup round 4 will conclude on the 15th of the month. But don't worry, don't be too sad, because the Retro GTs are coming back and have been going for a little while yet. Delta Online Racing's Retro GT Championship is always a highlight of the year for me. I really love it. There's sort of all the cars from the late 80s, early 90s, big turbos, and also a few just ridiculously large aspiration American cars as well. Very, very cool. Got BMWs versus Porsches over at Pit Stop. And then lastly for the month is the Cougar Cup. So a little Ford runarounds with MEA Online Racing. Great month for racing.
Lots going on in the shortest month. Well, thank you very much, Ali, for joining us. It has been a pleasure once again. Have a great day.
Yeah, well, thanks so much. See you later.
Bye. Up next, we've got our community spotlight, where we'll be welcoming Ash Gibbs to the show, founder of the Forza Horizon 4 UK Community Group on Facebook. Let's have a little look what that's all about. Hello, Ash. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Yourself?
I'm great, thanks. Well, welcome. One thing all the photos had in common there was that they were all made by members of your fantastic Forza Horizon 4 UK Community Group. So please tell us, what is this group all about?
Well, basically, it started off as such a small niche gathering of a few people, maybe 10 of us together, who just wanted somewhere where we could share some content and obviously share it with like-minded people. And it's just evolved. It's taken off massively. We're up to about 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000. We're up to 11,500 members now, which is just more than we could ever ask for. So, yeah.
Wow, and you're the founder of this group. You started everything here. So, like, when did it all start?
Basically, just as Forza Horizon 4 was first coming out, it was sort of a, should we try this? Yeah, let's give it a shot. And we never expected it to take off the way it has. Obviously, you can see the club there. We've got over 1,000 members now. And it's just going from strength to strength every day, yeah. It's going really well.
Amazing. So, like, why did you start the community? What were you looking to create?
Just a safe place where people could come in. Initially, it was aimed at UK members because obviously scouring Facebook, there was no specific UK group out there for like-minded people to come and join and get involved and share content. But it's just evolved now to a point where we couldn't restrict it anymore because it got that big, and there's that much to offer from all over the world. It's just it makes sense to make it a worldwide group. So that's the way we've gone with it. Yeah.
Absolutely. There's just so much talent. What kind of content and events, if people joined your group, would they expect to see?
Well, basically, it's a group full of community content. One of the most exciting things that we do at the moment is the weekly Rivals event. So that was started by a chap called Glenn a long time ago. I think we're up to about week 35 now. And every week we do a couple of events for all the group members, especially those in the club, to get involved in and basically try and take over the leaderboards. A couple of people in particular, a chap called Lee, every week smashes it week in, week out. He's up there, top 10 in the world. A few others, there he's at the top south of postage. Yeah, it's just every single week we just get people moving further and further up the leaderboards, and it's nice to see the group doing so well and the club doing so well. And it just pushes people to get involved and keep that Forza alive ultimately.
Absolutely. And it must be quite nice seeing someone out in the wild with your tag as well, being like, oh, yeah, you're in the group.
Yeah.
So how has the community evolved since you started it? Have you noticed any changes?
Well, obviously we had the change in direction with the location-wise. But as well as that, there's just been so many different elements added. Because to start with, it was just a small group of people wanting to share things like the design on the screen now, pictures, tunes, blueprints, things like that. But it's evolved into something much bigger now. So you'll find us on Twitter, you'll get us on, on Discord, things like that. And we also share the updates every week on the page as well. So it's just evolved massively from something so small to what it is today. Yeah.
Incredible. So, I mean, you touched on it before, but the UK moniker is now sort of like a legacy name. It's there for an identifier, but at this point, anyone can join.
Anybody, yeah. It's an open worldwide group. And like I said, as you can see from the picture there, once we hit 10,000 members, we did do a charity collection, which is still going now. And it's about finding ways we can make the group different, finding ways we can give it that bit of extra that other groups maybe don't have. Because obviously my history in the past, I've suffered with mental health and things like that. And the group's helped mould me into a better person, I think, because it gives me somewhere to take my mind off things. So it's about giving back as well. Once you get to a group with 10,000 members, it gives you a lot of potential to help other people and help other communities as well. So this is just a small thing that we're trying to do just to help, to give something back, if you will.
Yeah, and it sounds like you have a really strong community identity and community spirit as well, which is so important for any community.
Yeah.
So alongside this, which is obviously an incredible accomplishment, you've also accomplished legendary status yourself in the painting category. Tell us about that.
So basically, legendary status is 50,000 downloads, likes, and uses on designs in total. I was sitting at about 30,000, and Johnny Wanner actually got me onto his show on Thumbs Up Thursday, and he showcased some of the designs, and it's just obviously escalated since then. But it's a nice status to have. Obviously, you can list cars that would normally go for a couple of 100,000 for 20 million, and it's just nice to have. Obviously, the hard work that you put in. Designs to me is a way I can switch off from everything else. If you've had a tough day or if you've got things on your mind, you can just sit down, pick up the controller, put some shapes together, and it's just so rewarding. It's a way to switch off. There's the official group livery there, which I did. It's nice. I find it therapeutic.
Yeah, like methodical. You go through the same pattern, like start and then clean it all up and make it all look cohesive. It's lovely. I mean, so you've made quite a lot of liveries then at this point, but do you have a favourite one?
Well, try not to laugh. So basically, I've got 3 children. My youngest is 4, and they're absolutely obsessed with Peppa Pig. Now, I don't really know how much I can say about that. Obviously, it was one of them things where I thought, the kids will love this. I'll give it a shot, and that was the outcome. So, the kids were absolutely over the moon when they saw that.
I bet.
And now, every time I'm on Forza, my kids are saying, "Can I have a go, Daddy? Can I have a go, Daddy? Can you get the Peppa Pig van out, Daddy?" And it's just nice to see them getting involved at such a young age because, it's a great franchise. It's safe. It's friendly. There's so much in it, and it's just good to get them involved and get them interested at a young age. Yeah.
That's how you hook them. Hook them in with Peppa Pig, and then eventually they're riding cars around the track.
I mean, the fact that there's 200 mile an hour doesn't matter.
No, it's in the game. They can crash into that tree. It's fine. So before we go, tell everyone again where they can find the Forza Horizon 4 UK Community Group.
Yeah, it's the best thing to do. Search it on Facebook, Forza Horizon 4 UK. If you're looking for the club, join H4FB. Twitter, Discord, Instagram, not so much. And get involved. It's like I say, it's open to everybody. And it'd be good to see you.
Hey, there we go. If you want a lovely community to join of like-minded Forza Horizon 4 fans, then could be the group for you. Thank you very much for joining us today, Ash. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for having me. Cheers.
And if you have someone in the community that you would like to see featured in a community spotlight on a future Forza Monthly, you can nominate them, as always, at aka.ms/Forza Spotlight. So we're getting close to wrapping the show up today, but first we have a few additional announcements to make. First of all, the US is currently celebrating Black History Month, which is an annual celebration of achievements by Black and African Americans. And we figured, why not take this opportunity to also learn about some very cool automotive history? Keep an eye on our social channels where we will be highlighting some amazing Black and African American automotive industry pioneers with incredible stories. And additionally, this month, and beyond, Team Xbox is celebrating Black Voices. Check out the link below or in chat to learn more. And there's plenty more Forza coming at you this month as well. Starting February 15th, Forza Streets will be introducing a Germany-themed showdown. In the coming days, spotlights will feature themed cars to bolster your collection to help you reap the rewards of the event. And as an added bonus, all themed spotlights will feature extra rewards leading up to the event. Play now by downloading the app in the app stores. And then on the 26th of February, we'll be hosting a special edition of Forza Friday as part of Game Blast 21, the UK's biggest annual charity gaming marathon weekend in aid of special effect. Follow Forza on social for more details on what that will entail in the coming weeks. And in the meantime, you can always find more live-streamed Forza action right here on the Forza Twitch channel 7 days a week. Unfortunately, Smack Attack won't happen today, but Shannon will be back next week. Tune in tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time for Tuesday Drive with John O'Wanner. So a big thank you to all the guests for joining me today, and for you at home for watching. Thank you very much. I've been Leah Viathan, and until next time, goodbye.